Hey, Malcolm Reed here, and this is How to Barbecue Right. Today I'm going to show you how to do some hanger steaks on the grill. If you've never had hanger steak, it's tender as a filet, but it eats just like a ribeye. I'm also going to do some mushrooms that we're going to cook down in some Worcestershire and red wine. They're going to be fantastic. Let's get to cooking. So the first thing we're going to do today is get our grill fired up. I'm going to be cooking on my Kong ceramic grill today, but you can cook this recipe on any grill. Just set it up for direct heat. I'm running some B&B hickory lump charcoal. I want a good hot fire. Got a couple B&B starters going on to get that fire going. When those coals get ashed over a little bit, you want to go ahead and close the lid on your grill. Let the temp slowly come up. You got to have some intake, so open the intake exhaust about 2 fingers wide, and then open the top wide open till we get the fire up. We're looking for about 550 degrees, right in that range, to sear these hanger steaks. It'll be perfect in about 20 minutes. So now that we got the grill going, it's time to get our hanger steaks ready, and we're gonna have to do a little bit of trimming first. Now these hanger steaks came from Matador Prime Beef, and they did a real good job taking off a lot of the silver skin. But when you get a hanger steak, it's usually connected by this tough piece of connected tissue. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate this into 2 steaks. And so you just want to take your knife and get as close to that connective tissue line as you can and start working down it. You don't want to cut away too much of the meat. You just want to take out that piece of connective tissue because it's really tough and you wouldn't be able to chew it. So I'm kind of just using my knife, making shallow cuts and going right down it. And it'll separate it right into 2 pieces. Now we can come back and take this piece of connective tissue out. We're just going to use the knife and go the other way. Stay shallow. Don't want to waste too much of that good meat. And that's the connective tissue that was right in the middle. You just want to take it out just like that. Now we've got 2 steaks that we can work with. And they're kind of like, pieces of filet mignon. They've got that same shape. You know they're going to grill up. They're going to be really tender. I'm just going to clean up a little bit more of this excess silver skin. Just anything that's tough that wouldn't render down, because we're going to be cooking these hot and fast. And I'm not getting real crazy. I don't want to take off a lot of the fat. We're just going to clean up this other steak. But with this prime beef like this, you can see it's marbled up. It's going to have a ton of flavor. And hanger steak, a lot of times it's overlooked. They call it hanger steak or butcher steak because the butchers would keep this cut for themselves. It's like eating filet mignon. So I've got the hanger steak all trimmed. We've got 4 nice sized pieces, and we're gonna just get these seasoned up. I'm keeping it really simple today. The only thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna put some olive oil on the outside, kind of give us a little binder. And I'm even doing these little pieces that were on the edges, those would be my pieces. That's your test meat. Now I'm just gonna rub this olive oil in a little bit on the outside, and we're gonna go ahead and season it. And I'm using just my steak rub. I like a really coarse rub on hanger steak. Salt, gotta have some peppers in there, and gotta have some other herbs and seasonings. And this really gives it a great flavor on the outside, but it gives it some texture too. Just pat that in a little bit. You don't really have to rub it. We're just patting the seasonings. And you can see the texture that steak rub gives it, the coarser grind on those seasonings. Now we're gonna flip it all over and repeat that step. We want rub and seasoning on all sides of our meat. Just give it another little bit of drizzle of olive oil, a little more seasoning here, the steak rub. If you've got your favorite rub for steaks, go ahead and use that here, experiment with it. But a good coarse rub like this gives it a ton of flavor. Now I just want these hanger steaks to hang out for about 20 minutes before we grill them. It's gonna be the perfect time to cook the mushrooms that are gonna go along with it. So to go along with these hanger steaks today, I'm doing some baby portobello mushrooms. We're gonna saute right here on the Grilla. Starting with a little bit of butter. I'm also gonna add just a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. Kind of give that butter a little higher smoke point. Now I'm just gonna add some garlic, just got a couple cloves, a little bit of finely diced shallot. And we're gonna saute that in the butter and the olive oil right before we add our mushrooms. The shallot and garlic only need a minute or 2 just to kind of frying in that butter and that olive oil. Then we're gonna add our mushrooms. Just coat them around in the butter, in the oil. We also wanna season them a little bit. For that, I'm just using some salt, pepper, garlic. I gotta hit them with that AP. Just give them a good little dose there. It doesn't need a whole lot. Now we're gonna add our Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of red wine. Use your favorite wine. Now we're just gonna close the lid on the Kong here and let the mushrooms cook down. What we're doing is we're kind of reducing that Worcestershire, that red wine. Those mushrooms are giving off some moisture. We don't really want it saucy. It's gonna have some sauce to it, but it's gonna thicken up. It's gonna be some excellent sauteed mushrooms. So our mushrooms have been rolling about 15 minutes. And they're looking good. You can see we've reduced that sauce. It's kind of getting thick, caramelizing those mushrooms. You don't want to scorch them, so once the sauce starts getting thick like this, it's getting ready. It's letting you know. Check these mushrooms out. They've got that beautiful brownish color where they've caramelized in that butter and that red wine and that Worcestershire. And you know what? I'm calling these. That sauce has done what I wanted it to do. It's nice and thick, and I don't want to overcook them. But that is some beautiful mushrooms. So I've got the Kong running about 550 degrees now. We're ready to cook these hanger steaks. So all I'm doing is going right on the rack with them. Just want to keep them kind of straight. They're going to cook just like you lay them on there. And we're going to need about 2 minutes each side. So it's going to be about a total, about 8 minutes total. For about medium rare to rare, that's what I'm looking for today. I don't want to cook them too done. Maybe I'm going to put my little pieces on here. That's going to be, you know, little testers for the cook. Got a timer set. Get it started. Get the lid closed. Now we're just cooking. When timer goes off, we'll rotate it a little bit, turn it to a new side, another 2 minutes. I've got a thermopin I'm going to be checking them with, so I know when they get to about 122 to 125, these hanger steaks are coming off. Man, they're smelling good. You can smell that. I wish y'all were here. That smells awesome. All right, our timers went off. Time to make that first turn. We're just kind of rotating it a little bit. Ooh, that's hot. A little bit longer tone for this job. And we're going to keep cooking them like this until we hit our desired temperature. So every 2 minutes, we're going to rotate them. Don't forget our little guys here. We'll move them over to a little hotter spot. There we go. Get the lid closed. We're just going to go another 2 minutes. Right, another 2 minutes. Just rotating again. Man, these look good. After 2 more minutes, it's going to be time to start checking that internal temperature. Let's get the lid closed. Let them continue to cook. The timer set. All right, after 6 minutes, let's get another little rotate here. Ooh, that looks good. I'll move this small one out a little bit, get this one over. I want to check the temp because I know the smaller ones are got to be getting there. About 118, 122. See, this one's done. It's only been 6 minutes, but it's a smaller piece, so I want to go ahead and get it off because I don't want to overcook it. Our bigger ones, we're still reading about 90, 88. That one's about 100. Still got a little ways to go, so I'm gonna get another timer set for 2 minutes. We'll just continue to cook them. And I bet at the 8 minute mark, all of them are gonna be done. That's about all it takes for that rare to medium rare that I'm looking for. All right, we're to the 8 minute mark. This other little one I know is there. These bigger pieces of hanger steak. Oh yeah, bingo, 122, 123, right in that range. I'm gonna grab this little one. Now our larger pieces of hanger steak are done as well. Now check these out. These are beautiful pieces of hanger steak. All they need now is just to rest a little bit. I'm gonna tin them with a little aluminum foil right on the cutting board. We're gonna serve these up with those mushrooms just here in a minute. I can't wait to try one. Let's get them on the board. All right, I'll let the hanger steaks just hang out on that platter covered in foil for about 10 minutes. You just really wanna give them a good rest so all that juice stays inside. Now I wanna cut them up for you so we can see how we did today. Grab this, just to move them out of the way. And I'm just using a knife and gonna cut it into, you know, as thick or thin as you like. I mean, this looks awesome. I mean, check that out. Doneness is perfect, so juicy. Still really rare. Rare to medium rare. I like it more on the rare side. I want that juice. I want that perfect cooked meat all the way through. I don't want it overdone where it's dry. We've got a little juice running out, but hey, that's good board sopping juice there. But I'm gonna put them up here. I'm gonna get them all cut up. We're gonna shingle them out here. How does that look? A little bite there, run through that juice. So real quick, while I'm cutting these up, we'll just recap what we did. We fired up that Kong ceramic grill. You could do it on any grill, running direct heat. I wanted it about 500, 525, perfect grilling temp. First, we knocked out our mushrooms. We just sauteed them in a little butter and olive oil, shallots, garlic, mushrooms, Worcestershire, red wine, and cooked it until it really reduced and those mushrooms were done. Then we put the hanger steaks on, but we seasoned them first. A little bit of olive oil and the steak rub all on the outside to create this crust that we have on them. That looks beautiful. And we cooked them, starting timer for 2 minutes, and we just rotated. Total cook time was about 8 minutes. You know, it depends on the thickness of the hanger steak. You just want to watch it and really check your internal temperatures. I took them off when I was starting to see, you know, 122, 123 pop. That's as far as I wanted them. And then you just let them rest. It is really simple to cook these hanger steaks. As soon as I started seeing those temperatures, I got them off. They're a really lesser known cut, but the flavor of them and the taste is fantastic. It is tender meat, just like filet. And you can ask your butcher to source these for you. I got these from Matador Prime Beef. You can find them on their website, but you can ask your butcher to source a hanger steak for you. And you see them in restaurants. A lot of chefs are using them now because they're so tender. It's not as expensive as filet, but it's just as good, especially when you cook them rare like this, rare to medium rare. And hanger steak is easy as that. I mean, that's a lot of great beef. You know it tastes good. I can't wait to try it, so I'm gonna go in for a bite. I wanna get one of these rare pieces right out of the middle. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna get a piece of this mushroom out of here. Gotta have some mushroom to go with it. That is perfect beef right there. So tender, so juicy, it's full of flavor. The steak rub really gives it a little spiciness, and you can get just the right amount of salt and savoriness from the garlic. These mushrooms cooked down like this. They are fantastic. And don't worry about the wine. That wine all cooks out. You're just getting flavor from that. The Worcestershire, the shallot, the garlic. Oh, I'm gonna get another bite of this beef. You know, just cut a little bite here. That's so tender though. You really don't even need a knife. That prime beef just melts in your mouth. The flavor of the beef really comes through. That's one awesome cut. Hey, you got to check out Matador Prime Beef. In the description of the video, they've even gave us a discount code to offer you. Go to their website and look at what all they have. Thanks for checking out the video today. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. It'll let you know when we're sending out new stuff. We're going to put videos out all year long. You can also send questions and comments to our Facebook and Twitter feed. We try to answer all of those. We'll see you guys next time. Show this hanger steak is where it's at. It's incredibly tender. This might be my new favorite cut.